Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Can I have your attention, please, everybody? Are you all right? Are you comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think you can take out your dictionary, your textbook, and your notebook, and the pen or pencil. We are going to have a lot of dictionary looking today and in the weeks to come. We have been talking about stress on English words. Yesterday we did some exercise. We also looked at that Walmart text, and we saw a radio broadcaster's text, and we marked stresses there. So the question is, you know, many of you may have heard of this word, stress on particular words. This word stress itself means a variety of things. To psychologists it means one thing, to physicians it means another, but to us language teachers it means a certain thing. And today I am going to talk about what is word stress, how word stress in English is different from word stress in other languages, and what can we do to acquire correct stresses on all words in English. As it is, we do a good job already. You know, we in a large number of words we get correct stresses, but there are some frequently occurring words, particularly those words which are key words for our discipline, which we do not sometimes pronounce correctly. I am going to draw your attention particularly to those words, but before I talk particularly about those words, I like to tell you something theoretical, some theory about what is word stress, so that you as scientists can see the pattern, can see where we deviate from the pattern, and then you can help yourself. Am I clear to you? Say yes or no, please. Am I clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We are going to talk about word stress in English. What is word stress? You know, the definition, the simplest definition I was able to think of was this, that in a long word, one particular syllable can be more prominent than all the other syllables. Okay. It is like three boys walking together, one of them is taller than the other two. Three boys walking together, one of them can be fatter than the others. Three boys walking together, one of them can be fatter and taller than the other. Okay. So, prominence is what attracts your attention. Okay. How can a syllable be prominent? A syllable can be prominent because of either long duration. There are 3, 4, 5 syllables. Imagine in a word like imagine, there are 3 syllables. Okay. But one syllable is more prominent, we say imagine. Okay. It can be either louder or longer. It can take 300 nanoseconds or 700 nanoseconds compared with only 100 or 120 nanoseconds that another sound does. So, it can be louder, it can be longer, it can also be louder. A stressed syllable can have more decibels than an unstressed syllables. I hope you are familiar with these words, decibels or nanoseconds. Anyone who does not know these words? Anyone who has heard it for the first time? Okay. So, this is what makes a syllable prominent. Look at some examples. In this word, in the first word, which syllable is prominent? A. So, how do we pronounce it?
Agent.
Agent. But you know, many of us by mistake pronounce it as agent. That's not correct. What is it?
Agent.
Agent. In the next word?
Adult.
Adult. What is it?
Adult.
You know, stressed syllable must come out very clearly. That is another reason, why in a language like English we must speak more slowly than we do in another language, because here stress is particularly important. In the next word,
Cement.
come again please.
Cement.
Yes. Next. Next.
Cassette.
So it is cassette. The first syllable is hardly heard. It is not ka, it is just ka. What is it? Just ka. So this is cassette. What is it?
Cassette.
Next. Next. No, it's not engineer. It is engineer.
Engineer.
Imagine you are pronouncing this. What is this? Engineer. What is the word now?
Engineer.
Once again.
Engineer.
Get it right. You guys are going to be engineers, and if you don't pronounce the name of your own profession right, what impression would you give to the others? To me, it's all right. I'll say, oh, these are good boys, they have JEE behind them. So, accept them for whatever they are. But imagine what people think of you when they hear you mispronounce the name of your profession. Okay? What is this word? Engineer. Okay? So, one syllable is more prominent than the others. Why is it more prominent? Because it is either louder or longer. It can be both. Why is it prominent? Aparna? It's either louder or longer. Aman?
Either louder or longer.
Irfan?
Either louder or longer.
Kalpesh?
Either louder or longer.
Or both. Okay? So, it stands out, and you have to do the same thing when you speak English. That is not the problem when you have only one syllable word, monosyllabic word like cat or rat. No problem, absolutely. Okay? So, keep that in mind. What is a syllable after all? What is a syllable? Just a bit of a theoretical stuff. You see, no matter who you are, you may be the Olympic heavyweight gold medalist, boxing champion or weightlifter, but all of us can produce only one speech unit in one breath pulse. What is breath pulse? Your lungs constantly contract, come together and expand. Okay? That is how you breathe. Take the breath, do it, take a very deep breath, take a very deep breath, everyone please, and now let it go slowly, not through your mouth, come on, okay? Through your nose, okay? Right, once again, take a very deep breath and let it go again. So, each time you breathe, your lung expands, and each time you exhale, you let the breath go, it contracts. Okay? And only one speech unit can be produced in one breath pulse. That is what also sends the blood racing, and that is what physicians feel when they feel your pulse. So, one speech unit that can be produced in one breath pulse is equal to one syllable. Now, how many sounds can come in one breath pulse? It is also fixed, only one vowel. Are you with me? Everybody please. Only one vowel. Each syllable may or may not have other things, but it certainly has one vowel and only one vowel. Okay? The vowel may be long, like we saw yesterday, succeed, okay? Or it may be short, like we saw yesterday, critics. okay, but it has only one vowel, right. Plus before or after that vowel, it can have 1 or 2 or 3 up to 4 consonants. In English, the vowel can be followed by up to 4 consonants, can be preceded by up to 3 consonants, but the number is fixed. That speech unit is called a syllable. We in Indian languages also organize our writing in syllable, we call it akshara. So, if you write Telugu, you have 3 aksharas, te, tell me next, lu, next, gu. When you write a Malayalam, how many do you have? Ma, la, ya, la, ma. When you write Hindi, how many aksharas do you have? 2.5. You have ha and nada together. Okay? It is the same thing as syllable structure. See how wise our sages were. They imagined that their great grandchildren like you would be doing a course in spoken English. So, they thought, okay, let us at least put spoken Hindi, spoken Telugu in terms of syllables. Okay? Some writing, some systems of writing organize their speech in terms of syllables, not English. English represents each sound discretely, but when you speak, we organize these sounds in syllables. What is the structure of a syllable? A syllable must have a vowel. Sure, if there is no vowel, there is no syllable, correct. It may optionally have consonants. It may optionally have consonants. Again, there the limit is fixed. What is the maximum in English? 3 before, 4 after the vowel. Similarly, in our languages, in Telugu, in Hindi, in Sanskrit, in Malayalam, in Bengali, in Marathi, in all of our languages, in all languages of the world, it is fixed how many consonants can come before and how many consonants can come after the vowel. But in all languages of the world, one syllable has only one vowel. Any problem? If you think of a counter example, kindly tell me, I will write a paper and bring you the next Nobel Prize. Okay? Right. Can you divide the following words into the syllables? How many syllables are there in the first word? What is it? Cat. What is it?
Cat.
The next word, how many syllables?
2.
What are those?
Donkey.
It is not dong, it is dung. Open your mouth, like the hood of a crocodile. Donkey. Open it fully and close it quickly. Donkey. Okay? Donkey. Okay, how many syllables? 2. How many syllables? These side people are sleeping. Okay, are you very hungry? Why no sound? How many syllables in this word?
2.
What are those?
Donkey.
Next. So, how many syllables in the next word? What are those? Elephant. Okay, next. 4. How many? What are those? Can you pronounce this word together?
Rhinoceros.
Look up your dictionary. Come on, quick. 20 seconds. I want to see who tells me first. Okay, 5 seconds gone. 7, 8 gone. 9 gone. Yeah, rhinoceros. Okay, you took 14, you took 15. Rhinoceros. What is it?
Rhinoceros.
So, how many syllables here? Rhinoceros. Rhinoceros. What is this word? Next word.
5.
How many syllables?
5.
How many syllables in the last word?
3.
5. U, ni, v, c, t. So, u, ni, v, c, t. Okay, together what is the word? University. So, a syllable, can you come back to me please? A syllable can have only, sorry, a word can have only one syllable as in cat, or it can have 5 or even more syllables as in university. The number of syllables a word has is theoretically at least unfixed, it can have any number of, but no matter how many syllables it has, one of these syllables is going to be the most prominent, and that is what we mean by word stress. If when you pronounce that syllable more prominently than the other syllables in that word, then you are getting the stress right. Okay? Right, I am marked just in case you want to check, I am marked it for you. Now, come to word stress. So, now we know what is word stress. Okay? In all languages of the world, in our languages also, when somebody is called Rajendran, which part of his name is most stressed? J. When somebody is called Nagina, which part of the word? When somebody is called Sandhya, which part of it? Okay, depends, but in other language, suppose it is a Bengali speaker, they say Subroto, okay, then they are doing the bro. Similarly, in Tamil and Malayalam, it is another kind of pattern. Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, they usually have a different kind of. If somebody is called Neelakantan, then Ni is higher than Kantan, but the same Hindi speaker would call him Neelkantan. Okay. So, there are language specific differences. Look at word stress in English. Because of the history of the English language, can I take a couple of minutes to talk to you about the history of the English language? Okay. Sit back, relax. Okay. I know you are hungry, so I will not tell you a long story, otherwise you might fall asleep. Okay. If you have time, sometime before June this year, before July this year, before you come for the next semester, watch an interesting documentary, it called, please write, The Story of English. This is a what is this? BBC. What is the full form?
British Broadcasting Corporation.
Corporation, the British Broadcasting Corporation, right? Aparna, can I have your attention? Okay. So, this is a BBC documentary. Okay. It is a 9-hour documentary. You may not have time one day, but I believe it is available for free download. You can watch it, you can download it from the net and you can watch it on your computer. It is a 9-hour documentary. It tells you how the language of one part of a tiny island, not the entire island, language of one part of a tiny island in 2000 years became the language of the entire world. Okay. Today, no matter which country you go to, you find English in use. Go to Afghanistan, go to Tibet, go to Australia or go to Zaire, okay, or go to Argentina or go to Libya, no matter where you go to, you find English in use. How did it happen? There is a lot of, they say, The story has many parts, 9 parts. It happened through military conquest, it happened through commercial enterprise, it happened through trade, it happened through science and technology. Okay? Lot of factors which have spread English all over the world. But interestingly for us students of the English language, wherever English went, English also borrowed local words and also kept their pronunciation by and large, not exactly, by and large that way. India alone has given close to 10,000 words to the English language. 3,000 of these words you will find in your advanced learners dictionary. Someday if you have time, please take a look. So, what has happened is English does not have stress on words fixed like many other languages like Tamil or Telugu, like Hindi or French. Okay? Look at these words. Where is the word on the first? Where is stress on the first word? How do you pronounce it?
Succeed.
Succeed. How do you pronounce the first word?
Succeed.
The next?
Discount.
Discount. Okay? Next?
Company.
Next?
Beyond.
Next?
Imagination.
Next?
Report.
Next?
Competitor.
Competitor. Next? Check the way you said it. Okay? What is the first word? Next?
Discount.
See, discount can have two kinds of stresses. It can be discount, okay, right, or it can be discount. Okay. There can be a discount store, or the store discounts some parts of its sales. When it is verb, see that is the peculiar thing in English. The same word can be pronounced differently as verb, and when it is a noun, it has two different kinds of pronunciations. Okay? That is another challenge in English. Now, if you compare English word stress with other languages, say for example, a language like French. In French, it is always the last syllable. So, they pronounced Paris. Okay? They always in English, sorry, in French, they pronounce it as Francais. They pronounce it as Francais. Okay? It is always the final syllable, no exception. Cassette, that is a French word. Okay? So, what we say parliament, they say parlement. Okay? It is always the last syllable. In many other languages, look at South Indian languages, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, it is either always the first or the second syllable, never beyond that. That is has the most prominent stress. In languages like Hindi, Punjabi, it is either on or near the final syllable. But in English, there is no such fixed pattern, adding to our troubles. So, all of us following our mother tongue habits either stress the initial syllable or the final syllable or some part of the syllable which we are used to, some part of the word which we are used to. We are often right, but sometimes we are wrong, because English does not follow an across the board rule. You know what is an across the board? All examples, all examples are explained by one rule. That is not the case with English. English, just as you have to learn the meaning of every word, in English you have to learn the stress on every word, particularly if it is a long word. That is a big challenge for its non-native learners such as you and me. Okay? Look at the example. Take the names of the cities. How are they pronounced? Next. Next.
W.
But again there are cities for no reason or rhyme, okay, for no rhyme or reason, which are pronounced differently. What is the next?
Berlin.
Berlin. What is it?
Berlin.
Next.
Brazil.
Next.
Madrid.
Madrid. Where is Madrid?
Spain.
The capital of Spain. Okay. So in English it is pronounced not as Madrid but as Madrid. Not at Berlin but Berlin. Not at Brazil but Brazil. Very erratic, Look at the names of countries. Many countries where last part is emphasized, such as Japan. Next.
Nepal.
Next.
Iran.
But there are, names of countries where Englishmen emphasize, stress the initial part, such as next.
Canada.
Next.
India.
Okay. So you have to, while speaking English, you have to keep all of these erratic patterns also in mind. Okay. Moreover, challenge number 1 in English is any syllable can be stressed. Okay. Challenge number 2 is stress changes as the words change. Okay. The same word, it can be photo, say it after me, or it can be photograph. Again, in both cases you have a stress on the initial syllable. But look at the next word, it is photographer. What is it?
Photographer.
Next word,
Photography.
but another word,
Photography.
photographic. So 3 different kinds of stress on basically the same related word. You have photo, photographer, photography, but photographic. Can you pronounce these words once again? What is the first word?
Photo.
Next.
Photograph.
Next.
Photographer.
Photographer. Not photographer. Photographer. What is it?
Photographer.
Next.
Photography.
Next.
Photographic.
Okay. Once again. What is the first word?
Photo.
It is photo.
Photo.
Next.
Photograph.
Next.
Photographer.
Next.
Photography.
Next.
Photographic.
Okay. Yeah. Go slowly. Look at another example. The next is, listen to me and look at the screen, but listen to me. It is economy.
Economy.
Just listen. Economy. Next, economical. Next, economist, but economic. Okay. You see that how it changes? Now say it with me. I will say it first, you will say it next. Economy.
Economy.
Economical.
Economical.
Economist.
Economist.
Economic.
Economic.
Now say it without me. First word.
Economy.
Next.
Economical.
Next.
Economist.
Next.
Economic.
Okay. So as words are derived, the stress changes. The second source of difficulty. The first is any syllable can be stressed. There is no fixed pattern in English. The second is as you change words with derivation, suffix, prefix, the stress may change. I am not telling you it certainly changes, but it may change. 2. Third, the same word used as verb has one kind of pronunciation, and again later used as noun has another kind of pronunciation. Just listen, do not repeat. John has a good record of attendance. What part of his speech is record here? Is it a noun or a verb?
Noun.
Noun, because a good record. Okay, it is a noun. So when it is noun, it is record. But look at the verb. Many teachers record attendance. What is it now? Verb. When it is verb, it is the second syllable which is stressed, recurred. But when it is a noun, it is the first syllable which is stressed. As noun, it is recurred. What is it?
Record.
But as verb, it is recurred. What is it as verb? Recurred. What is it as noun?
Record.
As verb?
Record.
As noun?
Record.
As verb?
Record.
Okay. I will say the first sentence and you will say it after me. Slowly, relaxed pace. Okay. John has a good record of attendance.
Has a good record of attendance.
Take pause. Don't be in a hurry. John has a good record of attendance. You see, before of and record, you have to have a little pause. I will say it again. John has a good record of attendance. Come.
John has a good record of attendance.
Lovely. That's English. Okay. I will say the next sentence. Listen and then follow me. Just listen first. Many teachers record attendance. Okay.
Record attendance.
Say the first sentence. John has.
John has a good record of attendance.
Next.
Many teachers record attendance.
Okay. It is important, extremely important in English that you maintain this difference of stress between noun and verb. When that word is used as noun, it has one kind of stress, but when it is used as verb, it has another kind of stress. There are lots of words of that kind in English. You know, can you think of another word? Okay. I have given you another sentence there. Just can you pronounce it without me? The next sentence. The class.
The class gave the teacher a present.
And the next.
The class presented a painting to the teacher.
You see, as noun, as verb. So, words like record, present, import, export, produce, there are lots of them, you know, in English. The basic words, very frequently occurring words, those are the words which you use on a daily basis, okay, where you may go wrong. But a little attention, it does not take a long time. You do not have to climb the Mount Everest to get it right. You do not even have to fast, just have to pay some attention 1 day or 2 days and you get it right. So, that is another problem in English, that you know it keeps changing, the stress may change. On the same word you can have, on the same or similar words you can have different kinds of stress. Okay. Why is it important for us? Because researches show that if we do not have the right stress, if we do not stress the correct part of the word, then our listeners, by listeners I mean those listeners who are not used to our pronunciation. It has nothing to do with native or non-native. You know, your friends, your mother, your father, your brother, your family, your relatives understand you anyway. But the problem is when you talk to those who are not used to your pronunciation, when you talk to those who are in a hurry, who are impatient, who are not going to give you the time your parents, your friends, your relatives give you, how to talk to them. When you talk to them and if you do not get the stresses right, you know, you are misunderstood. Researches show that in India we say develop and we are understood as saying develop. How should we pronounce the first word? Develop. What is it?
Develop.
Pronounce it this way. D. What is this? What is this? Develop. Okay. It is this which is stressed, but if you pronounce it as develop, then you know you are misunderstood. Then your listeners think you are talking about develop. Okay. Similarly, another word, you know, very frequently a large number of us Did I tell you last year, year before last, we were involved in a training program at the air traffic control, at the air traffic control tower in Chennai airport, and we trained about 450 people in the English pronunciation. But before we began our training program, we sat, I and my colleagues and I sat in the tower and collected the records of their spoken English for about 100 hours. When we analyzed them, we found that regularly, routinely, they pronounced 19 as 90. We thought and we concluded there surely was God somewhere, so that all aircrafts landed and took off without serious accidents. Okay? But imagine what disaster, what catastrophe it can cause if you pronounce 19 as 90, and they are apart only because of stress. In the first word 19, which part of the word is stressed? Teen. But by mistake we pronounce it as 19. It is not 19, it is 19. What is it? 19. And the other word is 90. It is a long, 90. What is it? 90. You might have noticed all Englishmen's lips go from here to here, 90. What is it? 90. Spread your lips. What is it? 90. Correct. Similarly, many of us in India, many of us, not all, many of us in India and in other countries where English is not the first or the second language, we pronounce it as convalescing. It is not convalescing. What is the correct pronunciation of this word? Look up your dictionary. Come on, quick. I give you exactly 20 seconds. I want to see who does it first. Be careful. Yes. Yeah, convalescing. What is it? What is it? Convalescing. But when you pronounce it as convalescing, what do people understand you are talking about? They think you are convulsing. You see how serious miscommunication can happen. Similarly, our researchers found that when you do not pronounce police, how should it be pronounced? Police. But many people from Maharashtra, Andhra pronounce it as police. You remember that popular Hindi song from the 60s or 70s? Fir police aayi hanji. Okay, there was a very popular Hindi song, film song in the 70s. It is not police. Of course, it is police in Telugu. I am not telling you when you speak Telugu say police, or when you speak Marathi say police. There you should say police. Each language must be spoken according to its own standards. Okay? Do not speak Telugu like you are speaking English, and do not speak English like you are speaking Telugu. Okay? So, when you do this, when you say police, you are misunderstood for saying what? Polish. Okay? Next, how should the next word be pronounced?
Character.
But if you pronounce it as character, then you are misunderstood for saying director, erected, all kinds of. Similarly, many people in the south do not pronounce it properly, they pronounce it as machinery. It is not machinery. What is it? Machinery. What is it?
Machinery.
If you pronounce it as machinery, your listeners are confused. They think, are you talking about missionaries? Okay, right? It is therefore, unlike our languages, in English it is extremely important that we get the word stresses right, otherwise we can have misunderstanding, because there is another word with a similar stress, And when you do not pronounce the correct, when you do not stress the correct part of the word, then you are giving signal for another word which is similar, but not the same. Okay? So, if you want to speak standard English, if you want to speak to people from other countries, other disciplines, in business, in profession, then it is important that you must get these stresses right. How many words can we learn? You know, do we get all words wrong? Whatever we speak, is that wrong? That is not the case, you know. As in everything else, we get some words right, but some words wrong. So, those words that are frequently occurring and not correctly pronounced by us can be relearned by us. Can you tell me what is the correct pronunciation of the first word? Yeah. Okay. Wherever I have put a star, it indicates wrong pronunciation. This is wrong pronunciation. What is the correct pronunciation of the first word?
Academic.
Academic. Go slow. Academic. What is it?
Academic.
Next.
Balloon.
But wrongly we say balloon. It is not balloon. It is balloon. What is it?
Balloon.
Next.
Component.
Yes, but many people, many of us in India pronounce it as component, which is not correct. Okay. Next word. Yes. Next word.
Engineer.
Next.
Governor.
It is not governor. The correct pronunciation is incorrect pronunciation is governor, but correct pronunciation is governor. Stress the, you see, I have starred it here. Okay. So, it is not governor. The correct pronunciation is governor, not governor. The correct pronunciation is engineer, not engineer. Next word. Yeah, the wrong pronunciation is hotel. Correct pronunciation is hotel. Take time. Hotel. What is the correct pronunciation of the final word?
Professor.
Professor. Can you, you know, if you like, if you can spend some time, maybe about 10 minutes, not too many, can you tomorrow bring me a list of words longer than one syllable that you use between today and tomorrow? Tomorrow we meet at 9 o'clock. Can you bring 10 words to the class such that you frequently use, they are long words more than one syllable, and see where they are stressed? How many people will bring that list to the class tomorrow? Not you, Irfan, not in the class? Not you? Okay, I want all hands up, please. God, okay. These are learning opportunities. Look at your own language today and tomorrow and bring me all the long words. Also check their pronunciation. Okay. Finally, are you tired? Are you okay? Are we together? Okay, I am going to finish fast. I know you have marvelous lunch waiting for you and you would like to run for it. Okay, right? So, the question now is English stress all madness? Is there no pattern? Do we have to learn all the words individually? That is fortunately not the case. There are a number of words following a certain pattern which are stressed only on the final syllable. Can you give me some examples? Degree. Can you give me another? No. Final syllable. Can you give me another example where stress is on the 19? Can you give me another example where stress is on the final syllable? Balloon. Can you give me another example? Today. Hotel. Can you give me yet another example?
Succeed.
Police. Succeed. What, some more? Two more? Engineer. Okay. Most words ending in EE, EER, ERE, you know, SEVERE. How do you pronounce it? It is not severe, it is severe. S-I-N-C-E-R-E. What is it? Sincere. Okay, it is not sincere, it is sincere. Okay. So, there are patterns. There are some other words where you have a stress on the pre-final syllable, such as demolish. Can you give me another word? Abolish. Another word?
Abortion.
Okay. Another word? Another word? Another word? Admonish. Another word?
Why did you have to do that?
Component. Another word? Another word? Are you in the class? You should say sorry, I am busy, please. Tell your friend, yes, because he was speaking to you, right?
Component.
Unless you want him to speak to you. Okay. So, there are words where we have a stress on the second syllable from the end. There are words where we have a stress on the third syllable from the end, fixed. Look at the words like anticipate, certificate. Can you give me another word? Another word? Participate. Another word?
Adversity.
Another word? Another word? No, we have already said university, adversity. Diversity. Okay, another word? Another word, come on please.
Prosperity.
Another word?
Policy.
That is second. Okay, you say convalescing. Okay, there are lots of words. We will do some practice with those words. Right. Then there are words which follow certain suffixes. If those words end in certain suffixes, they have certain kinds of words, pronunciation. Say for example, all words ending in IC, ic, have this kind of stress on the pre-final. So, you have dramatic. What is it? Dramatic. Next. Scientific. Next.
Sympathetic.
Okay. Similarly, there are other kinds of stress patterns, etc., etc. What we will do is, I want you to bring your dictionary and your book every day to the class for the next 3 weeks, okay? And we will do some practice with it here. The idea is, the practice in the classroom alone will not be enough, but you would know how to practice. If you really are determined and decided, then in 2 weeks you can acquire, you can change your accent and pronunciation of English on all words where you go wrong. Because once you do words of one pattern right, other words in that pattern would themselves change. Mind is a very powerful machine. All you have to do is to give it a chance. Okay. Any questions, please? Right. Thank you. Have a good day.